Young man, young woman, you've been taught to chase money. But I tell you this, money is not the cause of wealth. It is the effect. The real treasure lies between your ears. And if you do not train your mind with purpose, with desire, and with unshakable belief, you will forever work for the man who did. I spent 25 years studying the richest men in the world, Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, and they all used the same secret. A formula so powerful it can turn a poor farm boy into an empire builder. I am here to give it to you, but only if you're ready to think for yourself and grow rich. Let me tell you a truth that the poor man refuses to believe. There are two types of men in this world. The first type looks at his empty pockets and says, I am poor. The second man sees those same empty pockets and says, I am only temporarily out of cash. The difference? One accepts his reality, the other reshapes it. You see, I spent over 25 years of my life not chasing wealth, but chasing the source of wealth. I sat with Andrew Carnegie. I studied the habits of Henry Ford. I listened to the thinking of Thomas Edison, and I found one thread, one golden law running through them all. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Not maybe, not possibly, with certainty. But there's a catch. Most people's minds are like untamed horses. They wander, they panic, they get distracted, and as a result, their thoughts are scattered. Their intentions are vague. Their results are poor. That's why I wrote what I call the Millionaire Mind Blueprint. It begins with a power so few ever master, something I call definiteness of purpose. Let me explain. Most people want money, yes, but ask them how much, by when, doing what, and they fall silent. Their desires are fog, and fog never built an empire. Carnegie once told me, any idea that is held in the mind and fully defined becomes a magnet. It draws its own conditions. That's what purpose does. It turns thoughts into magnets. So here's your first task. Don't just want to be rich. Write down exactly how much you want, by what date, in what form. I will earn $500,000 a year by building a software company that solves X problem. This is how wealth begins, not with dollars, but with decisions. You must give the subconscious mind a clear picture, and it will begin working day and night to bring it to life. This is not mysticism, this is mental mechanics. Your mind, once armed with purpose, becomes a magnet for ideas, solutions, people, opportunities. And here's proof. Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the electric light, he failed more than 10,000 times before creating it. But what people don't understand is this. Edison did not invent the bulb by chance. He held the idea of light in his mind so vividly that failure became irrelevant. In his mind, the world already had electric light. Reality just hadn't caught up yet. That is the millionaire mind blueprint. That is the seed of all riches. But let me give you a warning. Belief alone is not enough. You cannot sit in a chair and think your way to millions. You must act. You must build. You must sacrifice. But if your actions are driven by a mind that believes, then every failure becomes feedback, every loss becomes learning, and every day you move closer to the fortune you already saw in your mind. So now you have the blueprint, but blueprints don't build buildings. You need tools. You need a formula, a system. What if I told you that every millionaire, consciously or not, uses the same 5 steps? Let me give you the secret. Andrew Carnegie didn't just build steel, he built men. And he gave me something far more valuable than gold. He gave me a formula, one so precise, so simple, that any man anywhere, poor or privileged, could become wealthy if he truly followed it. I gave it to the world in Think and Grow Rich. Millions read it, but very few applied it. Why? Because men chase shortcuts, not systems. But today, I will give you the very formula Carnegie entrusted to me, and I challenge you, not to know it, but to live it. The 6-step wealth reprogramming formula. Step 1, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Do not say, I want more money. A beggar can say that. Say, I will have $1 million in my account from a consulting business. Why? Because the subconscious mind does not act on vagueness, it acts on clarity. Neuroscience today confirms this. The brain's reticular activating system filters the world based on what you fixate on. Specific goals become magnets for attention, decisions, and action. Step 2, determine what you will give in return. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Nature does not allow it. You want a fortune? Good. But what are you willing to trade? Time, skill, risk, sleep, comfort? Say it clearly. I will earn this money by building apps that save people time. I will trade 5 years of hard labor to become a master of my field. That declaration is your pact with reality. Step 3, set a definite date. A dream without a deadline is a wish. A deadline creates urgency. It awakens the will. I will earn this money by July 1st, 2026. If you miss it, you reset and re-strategize. But without it, you drift like a ship with no compass. Step 4, create a plan and begin immediately. Your plan need not be perfect. It just must begin. Success favors motion. Edison didn't wait for a flawless design. Ford didn't wait to understand everything about engines. Begin now with what you know. Momentum will teach you the rest. Step 5, write out a clear, concise statement. Write it on paper, in your own hand, with exact figures, exact dates, and your side of the bargain. This written statement is your creed. The act of writing connects hand to brain to belief. Neuroscience again agrees. When you write with clarity and purpose, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the decision-making part of the brain, and embed your goal into your subconscious. Step 6, read it aloud twice daily, with emotion and belief. Why emotion? Because emotion is the language of the subconscious. You must not read your goal like a shopping list. You must feel it like a soldier chanting his oath, once in the morning, once before bed, and you visualize it as already real. See it, hear it, taste it. This is not foolishness. It is mental programming. Modern science now calls it neuroplasticity. Repetition plus belief equals rewiring of neural pathways. This is how you stop being the man you are and become the man you intend to be. You now have the formula, but formulas don't work in the presence of poison. And most men, without knowing it, carry that poison every day. It infects their decisions, kills their momentum, destroys their faith. I call it the silent killer of success. Let's expose it. Through 25 years of interviewing the world's wealthiest men, I found that success is never first about talent. It is about conquering fear. And there are only 6 fears that enslave mankind. 1, fear of poverty. The fear of going broke keeps men in low-paying jobs they hate. It makes them choose security over possibility. 2, fear of criticism. This fear kills creativity. It's why most never launch their idea, write their book, or speak their truth. They are not scared of failure. They are scared of what their uncle might say if they do. 3, fear of ill health. It makes a man obsess over symptoms, stay passive, and forget that strength is earned, not inherited. 4, fear of loss of love. It makes men weak in relationships, abandoning ambition to please. A man afraid to lose love will never build an empire. 5, fear of old age. This fear whispers, it's too late, but the clock is not your enemy. The belief that you're out of time is. 6, fear of death. The ultimate fear, the reason men settle, the belief that there's not enough time, so why start anything dangerous at all? Today, neuroscience gives us the proof. When you feel fear, your amygdala activates. It hijacks your thinking brain. In that state, you cannot plan. You cannot dream. You can only survive. And the tragedy? Most people live in that survival mode for years. Fear shrinks your vision of the future. It replaces strategy with safety. You stop asking on what could I build and start saying how do I not lose what little I have? Let me ask you, what have you not done because of fear? What business? What pitch? What move? What conversation? And now ask this, what has it cost you? Every millionaire I ever met, Carnegie, Ford, Edison, had fears, but they trained their minds to respond differently. Fear cannot be removed, but it can be rewritten, and that is what the wealthy do differently. They do not fight fear, they reprogram it. Let me show you how. Affirmation plus emotion plus repetition equals belief. Affirmation, the exact outcome you desire. Emotion, the feeling as if it's already yours. Repetition, morning and night, until belief becomes identity. This is not motivation, this is programming. Riches begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, with little or no hard labor. You don't need more hustle, you need more clarity. Studies show the brain wires itself through repetition. Visualization activates the same neural circuits as the real event. This is how Olympic athletes train, not just their body, but their belief system. The reticular activating system, RAS, filters what the brain notices. Tell it you're rich, it'll start spotting opportunity. Tell it you're broke, it'll show you proof. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. Long before Muhammad Ali was champion, he said, "I am the greatest." He said it when no one believed. He said it until the world believed. That wasn't ego. That was auto-suggestion. Ali didn't fight with fists. He fought with faith. So your mind is now focused. You've fed it commands. But even a programmed mind is useless without fire. The wealthy do not simply wish for riches, they burn for them. Next, I will show you the real engine of success, burning desire. Every great fortune, every towering empire, every revolution of the mind began with one thing, desire. Not a hope, not a wish, but a burning obsession. Desire, when intense enough, enters a state I call white heat. It is no longer logical. It becomes emotional fuel. It keeps you awake at night. It drags you from bed in the morning. It makes the impossible inevitable. Most people wish for wealth, but a wish is weak. It fades. A true millionaire doesn't wish. He burns. Desire backed by belief becomes unstoppable. It's not the how that matters first. It's the why that can't be silenced. Andrew Carnegie. He didn't accidentally build a steel empire. He obsessed over one outcome, becoming the richest man in the world, not for money, but to prove that philosophy can produce power. Henry Ford. One vision. I will build a car for the great multitude. When others laughed, he repeated it louder. When they doubted, he doubled his efforts. That's not strategy. That's desire weaponized. Oprah Winfrey raised in poverty, abused, silenced. But one emotional engine kept her going. I will have a voice. The world will hear me. That fire made her unstoppable. This is your mental blueprint, your inner contract with destiny. Step 1, write the exact outcome you want. Step 2, define what you're willing to give in return. Step 3, anchor it with a deadline. Step 4, visualize it every morning. Step 5, read it aloud with emotion, not like a task, like a battle cry. Let it shake your bones. Let it echo in your sleep. You cannot rewire your destiny until you reprogram your identity. An identity is built every morning. Thoughts are not powerful unless they're repeated, believed, and emotionally charged. This is not manifestation. This is mental engineering. This is identity programming. The Millionaire Morning Ritual. First is affirmation immersion. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Read your definiteness of purpose statement aloud. Read slowly with full emotion. Close your eyes between each line. See it, feel it. Why? You're programming your reticular activating system, the brain's filter for what matters. You are creating internal certainty, the fuel for risk, courage, and focus. You're not just repeating words, you are building belief. Then comes visualization with emotion. The subconscious mind doesn't understand words. It understands images and feelings. Sit in silence. Picture your outcome. Hear the applause. Feel the freedom. Smell the room. Let it get viscerally real. Neuroscience confirms visualization activates the same neural patterns as real experience. Rehearse the future until your brain forgets it's not real yet. After that, Learn from the masters. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Read or listen to high-caliber material. Choose from wealth thinkers, mindset builders, history's game changers. Highlight one golden idea every morning. Why? Inputs determine identity. What you hear shapes how you act. Millionaires don't start with news, they start with truth. And here's the last one. One aligned action. Ideas are useless without movement. Take one step toward your definite purpose. It could be a call, a post, a sketch, an email. The size doesn't matter. Only the alignment does. Action rewires identity faster than thought. Every day you move, your brain believes, this is who I am. You don't wait to feel ready. You move, and readiness follows. This is not about working harder. This is about aligning thought, emotion, learning, and movement every single morning. You are not manifesting. You are programming. A poor man wakes up and reacts. A millionaire wakes up and creates. I have given you the formula, the exact steps, as I gave them to the world nearly a century ago, but let me warn you, most people will watch this and do nothing, not because they lack talent, but because they refuse to decide. They will forget, not because they want to, but because they never wrote it down, never practiced it, never repeated it. Right now, your brain is at a crossroads. You can scroll to the next video, or you can pause and begin, because repetition begins with the first ritual. Identity begins with the first declaration. Wealth begins with the first thought you refuse to let go of. Write your desire, speak your statement, visualize your future, and above all, move today. One step, one act of faith, one page from the mind of greatness. You are not poor because of your bank account. You are poor or rich based on what you allow your mind to accept. Riches begin within. And now, that seed has been planted. The rest is up to you.